So from now on, I'm going to completely reverse my pattern online. I used to take a personal insult and then insult them back, and it was fun. Mostly it was fun. I did it to practice. I did it because people would laugh at my replies, etc. But I'm going to stop doing that as of today. I'm going to start giving people no second chance. So if somebody comes in with their stupid laundry list, oh, but your president is a big old racist, and here's the 10 things that I hallucinated he did. Block. Because that person is not a real voice. That person is a person who's got an act. They came to bother you, and they came to boost their own signal. Because if you interact with the trolls, you're giving them more visibility. And you're making their day. You're giving them exactly what they want. Don't give them what they want. Just shut them down. You can completely shut down. You can completely shut down the effectiveness of the other side by blocking them on the first offense. So from now on, first offense. If it's personal, so here are the rules. I don't block anybody for disagreeing with what I said. I don't block anybody for saying, oh, here's a link, you didn't consider this. Disagreement, completely acceptable. And if I ever violate that line, I know that you'll keep me honest. All right? But the moment it's personal, don't wait for the second thing. Don't answer, and don't wait for a second insult. Remove them, just like that. So let's get to the fun part. I made you wait. I wanted to tell you, because people have been asking me, if social media is going to put their finger on the scale, and social media is powerful enough that they can essentially decide who will get elected president, they would even have more power than African Americans because everybody's subject to the same persuasion, right? So social media could persuade black voters one way or the other, and they would have a lot of influence over that. But what can you do about that? So I want to talk about that. So don't leave, because I'm going to tell you what to do if you're worried that social media is going to determine the election. You might like this, and you might not. Here's my suggestion for all of you. This is what you can do, not the government. I'm not talking about what Trump does or his administration. I'm telling you what you can do. All right? Here's what you can do. Don't get kicked off of social media. That's number one. Don't get kicked off of social media. You know what you're doing when you're doing something edgy. You know when you've gone too far. You know when you're pushing the boundaries. Don't. There's no law that says you have to push the boundary. Think about any tweet that got anybody kicked off of social media. Think about it. Any tweet that ever got somebody kicked off of social media or even put in jail on social media, was that tweet important to the person's life? Never. Never. The tweets that get people kicked off of social media are never important. They're never important. They're just something that was over a line, so you got kicked off. So don't do that. If you get temporarily kicked off because you've got a bad tweet or a bad post, and all you have to do is remove it, remove it. Remove it right away. Don't take your own power away. All right? Next, grow your followers. Figure out how to grow your following, because then you'll have more voice. The more people who follow you, the more influence you have. So do what you can to learn how to grow your user base and how to participate effectively. You should follow each other to boost your signal. If you're following a number of voices on the right and you would like even more people on the right to have more power, follow some extra people. Figure out who you think is influential and then boost their signal by yeah, let's get rid of this guy. All right. And then next, learn persuasion. If you haven't read my book, Win Bigly, you should do it. Because social media can have a big influence in terms of decisions they make about what you see, but you can also have a big influence by simply learning how to be more persuasive. So read my book, Win Bigly, follow my Periscopes, and try out some of the techniques. Be visual, don't be obscene, because the cleaner stuff gets more virality. Over the next year, I will teach you more tips about how to be persuasive, and that will help. But here's the big one. So this is the one to remember. I'm going to be modeling this going forward. On social media, when Trump was first running for election, it felt like those who were supporting him were pirates. It was like he was the head pirate, and he had a band of pirates doing things that were edgy and dangerous and sometimes could get you kicked off of social media, things that were maybe on the border of ethical behavior, some of it well beyond that. It was a pirate situation. And then he won. Is it appropriate to take your pirate mentality to re-election when this president is successful on all the normal ways that you want success? It's not. So here's the suggestion. Become nice. It's really powerful. If people who support the president simply block everybody who makes a personal comment and never sees that person again, you can live, first of all, a life of far less stress, but you will also take it to a higher level. You can be a level of maturity that will be hard to fight against. It's time to raise your game. It's time to bring the way you talk about things. It's time to take your persona online, your maturity. It's time to take it up a level and recognize that you won. You won. You got your president, right? For those of you who are Trump supporters, you won. Act like a winner. You don't need to act like a pirate anymore. You don't need to argue with every troll. I'm watching online as there's one particular troll who's been bothering all the people in my timeline because they keep doing this loop where you prove them wrong and then they go back to their original point that you proved wrong before. Yeah, her name is Emily. I blocked her, but I didn't block all the people who are still interacting with her, so I keep seeing their end of it. Please block her. I mean, if any of you who are dealing with this Emily troll, she's not a real citizen having a real conversation. She's not. She is a troll. She's in it for whatever reaction she's getting. Don't give it to her. So from now on, I'm going to completely reverse my pattern online. I used to take a personal insult and then insult them back, and it was fun. Mostly it was fun. I did it to practice. I did it because people would laugh at my replies, etc. But I'm going to stop doing that as of today. I'm going to start giving people no second chance. So if somebody comes in with their stupid laundry list, oh, but your president is a big old racist, and here's the 10 things that I hallucinated he did. Block. Because that person is not a real voice. That person is a person who's got an act. They came to bother you, and they came to boost their own signal. Because if you interact with the trolls, you're giving them more visibility, and you're making their day. You're giving them exactly what they want. Don't give them what they want. Just shut them down. You can completely shut down. You can completely shut down the effectiveness of the other side by blocking them on the first offense. So from now on, first offense. If it's personal, so here are the rules. I don't block anybody for disagreeing with what I said. I don't block anybody for saying, oh, here's a link, you didn't consider this. Disagreement, completely acceptable. And if I ever violate that line, I know that you'll keep me honest. All right? But the moment it's personal, don't wait for the second thing. Don't answer, and don't wait for a second insult. Remove them, just like that. Now, the other people I remove are the people who they try to read my mind in public. So there are quite a few people who will tweet, and they'll include me in the tweet, and they'll say something like, well, Scott will block you for having people like to say this, Scott will block you for proving him wrong online. Okay, if you say that, I will block you. Because I don't do that. So anybody who tries to read my mind and say in public what they think I'm thinking, you're always wrong. So I'm going to block you instantly. Because somebody like that doesn't ever go away. If you interact with them, if you let them go, they'll just keep saying more of this stuff. So get rid of it. All right. Now, at the same time, if you are successfully acting nice online, eventually that's going to become a story. Because social media is doing something for you that looks terrible, but might not work out as terrible as you think. What the social media platforms are doing are ahead of the 2020 election, and maybe just because it's ordinary business, they're getting rid of the most provocative voices on social media. They are doing both sides, all right? You could argue that it's not equal, and you know, I'm sure that's an argument worth having. But the Krasensteins have been banned. Who was it? Who was the other guy who got banned recently? But anyway, the point is, there are bans on both sides. I wouldn't worry too much about the fact that there are more conservatives being banned. Because if the people being banned, Farrakhan, yes. So Farrakhan got banned. So what's happening is the voices on the right that are the ones that would ruin your reputation are being knocked off the system. Now, Woods is a special case because he's not really banned. All he has to do is get rid of one tweet that has no importance. Don't put James Woods into the category of real people who say things and get banned. He's a different situation. He could be back the moment he gets rid of one tweet that has no importance. So that's a choice. And likewise, if you find yourself in the James Woods situation, where he, in his opinion, since the thing he got banned for was a famous quote, and it was not really a call to violence, he's resting on principle, apparently. I don't want to read his mind, but it looks like he's making a principled stand that free speech is free speech. And it doesn't matter that somebody else reinterpreted it wrong. That's not the point. So I understand that point. I accept it. It's credible. It's, you know, it's real. But if you want to be effective, I don't think that's working. So it's a principled stand that I don't think works. Do you know what would work? Staying on social media and saying things that are healthy and good and persuasive. That would help. What did James Woods do for you? All right. When he's online, he's a powerful voice that has we hope, a productive outcome. When he allows himself to be banned over a tweet that has no importance to anybody in the world, is he helping you? He's not. He's not helping you. He's not changing anything. He's not helping himself. He's just got a little vacation from social media. So don't be James Woods. You know, I say again, I'll respect a principled stand, and he seems to be taking that. So I do respect that. I'm just saying that it doesn't help anything because it's not effective. It's not effective at all. All right. So be nice on social media. Block the trolls immediately. Do not interact with them. Don't let them put words in your mouth. So the other people I will delete is if I get into a conversation online and they say something along the lines of, you keep saying this and this is why you're wrong. If they put words in my mouth, you can't fix that. The people who say, but what you're really thinking, you can't fix that.